Yo, yo, what is up? Peace and richest blessings. It is a beautiful day to be alive, sending you all the love, all the good vibes. It's your boy Burnellwashburn. Welcome back to Wake the Love Up. I am so beyond excited to record this power-packed episode for you today. It has been almost 2 months since I've been able to record an episode ever since my laptop went out. So I'm back in action with some gems to drop. There's going to be so much wisdom I'm sharing with you today. So this might be one of those episodes you want to take notes on. You might want to go back and re-listen to this multiple times. And yeah, strap in because we have a power-packed, magical episode for you today. I'm so happy that I'm back in creative mode, back with my laptop working, and a lot of new valuable lessons to share. The last couple months have been quite magical, filled with all sorts of lessons and blessings, and I've learned a lot. So I'm going to share some wisdom that can absolutely transform your life. So huge thank you for listening, investing this time in your personal growth today. This is an act of self-love that not only benefits you, but benefits the whole collective. So we have some higher self momentum building in a beautiful direction right now. First and foremost, shout out to my Patreon supporters. I love you guys so much with all of my heart. I really appreciate you. Whether you guys are donating $5, $10, $20 a month to help support this cause and spread this message so we can impact more people and wake more love up. It truly helps. It helps me pay for the expenses associated with this, and it just helps me know that you're getting value out of it and inspires me to keep going, and it just helps me help more people. So thank you guys so much. If you feel called to support this show or just anything, my music and my YouTube and anything I do in general, feel free to go over to patreon.com/burnellwashburn. I have some cool incentives for anyone that donates. So again, I can't thank you guys enough. Some of you guys have been supporting this show for like well over a year, and that just lights my heart on fire. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. And before we really dive into today's episode, I want to take a sip of my drink. Hold on. Today's episode is brought to you by Rasa. Rasa is an adaptogenic, I can't say that word right, an adaptogenic coffee alternative made out of the highest quality herbs and mushrooms that can take your health to a new level, energize you way more than coffee and caffeine, without the burnout, without the adrenal fatigue, and with a whole host of other health benefits. So this stuff is absolutely amazing. If you haven't tried it yet, do yourself a favor, go to wearerasa.com. That's Rasa, RASA.com. And the link's in the show notes or the description below, so you can just click on that. Use promo code Burnell, BURNELL, all uppercase, to get yourself 15% off. And they have some amazing stuff. There's lots of different flavors and concoctions and blends that can take your health to a new level, give you something magical to sip on in the morning or really any time of day without damaging your body and burning yourself out. And, I love coffee. It's amazing. It's magical. And it also has some side effects. It can burn you out. It can, stress out your adrenals. So there's a lot of benefits to drinking something like Rasa instead, or just drink both because you want to be extra fired up, So that's wearerasa.com. Use promo code Burnell for 15% off. And if you purchase anything from them, just know that you're supporting a really good company ran by a woman who just is as woke as they come, really cares about environmental impact, really cares about sustainability, really cares about sourcing the highest quality ingredients, and just does this whole entire company out of integrity. She is like one of my ultimate role models in business of how a good company should be ran or can be ran in the year 2020. I'm just like so grateful for her influence, and her name is Lopa, the woman who started the company, and she's just a divine goddess of all sorts. So check out wearerasa.com. Know that you're supporting a good company and you're supporting your body, taking your health to optimal levels. So now that that's all said and done, I want to jump deep headfirst into today's episode where I'm going to be sharing 30 lessons in 30 years. I just barely turned 30 years old. My birthday was just a couple of days ago. And I'll be honest, it was kind of a wild, emotional few days where I sort of had an existential crisis, a quarter life crisis, I guess. I don't even think it's a quarter life because I'm going to be living a long time. But regardless, society puts a lot of pressure on where we think we should be by age 30. Like it seems like this milestone or this marker where we should have certain things figured out, or, we should be at a certain place in life. And we put so much pressure on ourselves. We allow society to program us into thinking that we're supposed to have it all figured out by then. And I notice a lot of friends that I've talked to also had like a similar type of crisis or emotional roller coaster around on their 30th birthday. And I learned so much from it. So I'm going to share 30 lessons that I really have started to understand now that I'm 30 years old. So I'm just going to go through them pretty quickly, and I'll briefly talk about each one, and I'm going to try to spend like less than a minute or two on each one so we don't make this like a 5-hour long episode. So let's dive right in, shall we? The first lesson is... Well, let's actually back this up. Before I even jump into the first lesson, let me just give you a slight backstory. As I alluded to a moment ago, had a sort of a little bit of a crisis, a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. And a lot of these lessons were realizations from that. So you can just learn so much from having challenging times. Like sometimes our failures or our hardships can be really our biggest teachers. So I'm super grateful for that. I got really excited to travel all year long. I thought about, okay, my 30th birthday is going to be so lit. It's going to be the best birthday I've ever had by far. Like I'm taking my life into my own hands and I'm going to make this birthday dope for myself. So since normally I host a concert and perform a show on my birthday every year, and I usually have like some of my best homies come perform and all, it's usually an amazing time. And due to COVID, we weren't able to do that. So this year I planned on starting my birthday on the ocean. I'm going to start this new decade on the ocean because I just love nature, and I especially love the ocean, and being landlocked in the desert. It's not something that I'm frequenting as often as I would like to. So I'm going to change that. And I was just really excited. I had like too much importance and too much excitement build up all year long, thinking about how just amazing my birthday was going to be. And so I planned out this road trip with my buddies. We were going to go to Lake Tahoe and go camping, and then we were going to go to Big Sur camping, if you know where that is. It's like one of the most magical, majestic places in California where the redwoods and the amazing mountains meet the ocean, and it's like some of the best beaches and mountains and forests like all in one, and it's just divine, and I've always had an amazing time out there. So I got really excited to do that. And then a few days before we were supposed to leave, pretty much all of California catches on fire, and that just breaks my heart. My heart goes out to everyone that has lost their home or their land or had to relocate or just been affected by the fires in any way, and not just in Cali but across the world. So sending you all my love and compassion. It must be really hard to deal with something like that, and I know it's all happening for a reason. So sending my love. Got a lot of homies out there that have been affected, and I know it's some wild times right now. So wasn't able to go to Cali because of the fire. So then I tried to just find somewhere else to go, and pretty much everywhere within a 12-hour vicinity of where I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, was all just super smoky, super unhealthy air quality, not safe for most people to be out in. So I started getting kind of bummed on that, and I started trying to like force a new trip to happen. I thought maybe I'll go to Crested Butte, Colorado, because it was so high in elevation. The air was actually pretty decent down there. And I was just like trying to make something amazing happen. and it just wasn't working out. And then I started, my frequency fell off a little bit, and I started stressing over things and focusing on what I didn't have, and I got on a lack frequency, and then that quickly manifested into some money challenges where I had some unexpected expenses and some things break and some, things come up financially that sent me into even more stress, or that I allowed send me into more stress and worry and fear and scarcity. And then I started questioning everything. I woke up like a couple days before my 30th birthday, just like questioning every single thing in my life. Like, what is all this stuff in my house? Why do I have all these things? Like, why am I doing all the things that I'm doing? And I was questioning everything about my whole life. I went and took like every single decoration off of my walls. I started putting everything in boxes. Like, I'm just going to give away all my possessions because I was, just kind of emotional and a little bit confused. And I needed to make a change. Like, I wasn't really happy with where I was in life. And I was like, I just need to make a dramatic change, like right now. So started doing all that, just started really like kind of being confused and questioning everything. And it was a weird emotional time. I was pondering my attachments and what I was trying to let go of. And I'm already kind of a minimalist, but I was, I want to get rid of even more stuff. I don't want anything that's not fully aligned. I don't want a single material item in my house or anywhere around me that's not like a 10 out of 10, hell yes, this is aligned with my highest good. And I started thinking, my living situation doesn't even reflect like where I feel like I deserve to be or where I feel like I want to be. My clothes don't reflect that. My decorations don't reflect that. Like everything was just like not resonating with me for a minute. And it threw me into this like weird spiral of a funk where I just started focusing all on myself, and I got really self-centered, which is like pretty much the number one cause of suffering. And then I broke all my like cardinal rules that I always talk about. I was like focused on myself instead of who I could serve. And so that created a lot of suffering. And because I was like, it's my birthday, the world should revolve around me. And like, I wasn't like consciously saying that, but subconsciously I was like, I want to be celebrated and want everyone to like acknowledge me and give to me. And I was all me, 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 me. And that it was very painful. And then I broke one of the other cardinal rules about being in the present. I was not in the present. And they say depression comes when you're living in the past. Anxiety comes when you're living in the future. But right now, the present moment is the gift. So much of our suffering comes from just not being present right here, right now, in this very moment. And I preach that, but it's easy to forget a lot of these things that I talk about sometimes and not fully embody them in certain moments. So basically created a lot of suffering, breaking all the stuff that I talk about, just not following my own advice. And my own advice is actually a big part of what pulled me out. Listening to my own podcast and my own music like kind of brought me out because it reminded me all these things that I know that my higher self knows. And it's okay to slip and stumble and forget these things sometimes, we just got to keep coming back. So anyway, I just sabotaged this whole trip. I placed way too much importance on it. Normally, I'm really good at detaching whenever something is not seeming like it's going my way. I just trust the universe and I'm like, you know what? It was meant to happen this other way. Or I guess we weren't meant to go to Cali. Like, cool, no worries. I'll go there next time. But instead of being like that cool, nonchalant, carefree, radical acceptance and surrender, I was in this masculine force trying to make it happen, and then it wasn't working out. So then I, got really down, and then I started thinking about all these times in the past where I didn't get my way or where I didn't get what I wanted, especially for my birthday. And then I started thinking about all the people and family members that haven't really been there for me on my birthday or don't even like acknowledge my birthday. And I started getting really down on that. Again, focused on myself and what I don't have rather than what I'm grateful for. And it was just, I created a lot of suffering for myself for like a few days. It was really, really tough. And then I ended up hitting up my homie and I was like, hey bro, I just need to go camping for the night to reset my frequency. I want to go up there and do some shadow work. Some of my old patterns and old shadows that I thought that I've healed are just resurfacing in some painful ways right now. So I'm going to go set some intentions for this new decade of what I'm letting go so I can bring in what I really want, because, I got to make space for the new, beautiful, abundant, amazing life that I'm calling in. And there's certain things that are not in resonance or harmony with that. So I have to let them go in order to make space for what really is of my highest good. So I ended up going camping for one night instead of this like 4-day epic California trip that I really wanted. That was like what my ego wanted, but there's always like your plan and then there's God's plan or the universe's plan. So I just forgot to accept and trust and surrender when it wasn't working out. And normally whenever I do that, everything's fine. Everything ends up working out even better than I could have imagined. So I just need to remember that, like, something seems like it's not going your way, just surrender and trust and accept it. And when you're struggling against this moment, you're struggling against the entire universe. So it's helpful to listen to teachings of the Tao and be like water and go with the river, go with the flow. So anyway, ended up not getting what my ego wanted, but I got exactly what my spirit needed, what my higher self needed. And I believe anytime we fully commit ourselves to calling in a new level of experience, a new level of being, where I was just like, I'm done doing anything that's in my lower self. I'm done doing anything that's not in full resonance with who I'm trying to be. I committed myself to leveling up. And as soon as I committed myself to leveling up, the universe showed me all my patterns and shadows and habits and tendencies that were not in congruence with this new level that I was going to. So it was basically oh, you want to level up? Okay, here's all the things that are preventing you from that. Boom, 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 boom. And it was painful. And so I was like, yo, we got to go do some shadow work in the mountains. We went camping, and it was interesting. My birthday is on August 24th, 8/24. And I've never seen it rain that day here in Utah, and it rained a lot that day. It even hailed, and it was kind of a wild time. But I got in the most healing work. I jumped off a waterfall into a cold river. I did a lot of breath work, a lot of journaling. We had a little fire ceremony where we wrote down limiting patterns and beliefs and just old ways and things that were not in congruence with where we're trying to go, and we burnt them in the fire next to the river, and it was really powerful. And then I got visited by a deer, which is one of my main spirit animal homies, and just ended up having a really beautiful birthday. Even though it wasn't what I thought I wanted, it was exactly what I needed. And that seems to always happen. You might not get what you, it's like that Rolling Stones song, you don't always get what you want, but you get what you need. So yeah, had a beautiful little birthday, and I had some time to reflect on what I feel like I know to be true and what I feel like is just valuable lessons and insights that I could share with you today. So let's dive in. That's enough pre-ramble. Let's dive into these 30 lessons. We're going to go through them quick. So the first thing is be here now, the generous present moment. All the magic lies right here in this moment. When we can just fully connect with what is, rather than thinking about what was 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago, or what's happening 5 minutes from now or 5 years from now, we tap into infinite magic, infinite presence, and that's just really where all the gifts are. So be in the present. It's just so easy to slip into the past and the future. I was thinking about all these times my family wasn't there for me on my birthday and whatever. That was all in the past. I was bringing up pain from the past and reinfecting myself in the present and robbing the joy of the present moment just by focusing on the past. And then I was projecting all that pain into the future, thinking that the future is going to be the same way. And since all these things that weren't desirable happened in the past, then all these other negative things are going to happen in the future. And that's just, life sucks. No. It's so easy to fall into that trap. So connect to the breath, be present right here, right now. That's all that exists. The other stuff is just an illusion. Second lesson. Progress, connection, and service equals fulfillment. I've talked about this a lot. When we are making progress, when we're growing, we're going to be fulfilled. When we're connecting, sharing that with other people, soul tribe, community, family, all that, we're going to feel fulfilled. And when we're in service, when we're giving to others, benefiting others, enriching the universe, we're going to be fulfilled. So that's the 3 pillars of fulfillment that I always talk about. Progress, connection, and service. When we're growing and we're loving and we're giving, we feel really good about ourselves. So That is lesson number 2. Lesson number 3 is I create my own reality via my thoughts and emotions. Thoughts are electric, feelings are magnetic, and we are working in an electromagnetic energy field that is just reflecting back to us. So just really owning the fact that I do create my own reality. It's not, life is not happening to me, it's happening for me, and it's all my own creation, so I can create whatever I want. Principle or lesson number 4 is the universe is benevolent by nature. I used to question this, and now I really believe deep in my heart that the universe is a benevolent, loving entities, I guess it's all one entity, that really wishes good upon all and is really striving to help all of us thrive. One of my affirmations that I write and say every single day is the entire universe is conspiring to help me thrive. The entire universe is conspiring to help me thrive. If you really believe that the universe is a friendly, benevolent, loving place that wants you to thrive and wants you to be happy and healthy, that's a beautiful perspective to have, and you will find whatever you're looking for. So you start looking for things to match our beliefs, and life will always match our beliefs. We'll find evidence to support whatever we're looking for and whatever we believe in. So if you believe the universe is benevolent, you will find a friendly, loving universe that's helping you around every turn. Sometimes it helps you in mysterious ways. Sometimes it doesn't give you exactly what you want, but it'll give you what you really needed in order to get what you really wanted. Number 5, uncertainty equals magic and opportunity. I think that's what a lot of us are being called to do right now during COVID and during just the planetary shift into the new earth, is we are being called to make peace with uncertainty. We've never actually had any type of certainty. Any type of certainty that we thought we had was an illusion. And now those illusions are shattering before our eyes, and we're starting to see that like uncertainty is actually pretty magic. Like it forces us to just be in the present and be in the heart and do what really lights us up, because there is no guarantee. Like I don't know. The news could say something new tomorrow and all of a sudden we all go into like an even more of a lockdown quarantine, or it could be like, hey, actually we found the cure for COVID, or COVID actually wasn't even a real thing to begin with, or whatever. Like they might just say because the news keeps contradicting itself every other day, and you know, all these different things. Like you can do shows and then you can't do shows, and then like you can go to restaurants now and then you can't. Like it's just all these crazy things. So it's like forcing us to just live in the present and embrace uncertainty. Uncertainty has a lot of magic and opportunity. Infinite possibilities lie in the field of uncertainty. Number 6, we are God pretending to be human. Ram Dass says everybody is God in drag. Treat everybody like God in drag, because that's what we are. We are the divine, omnipotent, omnipresent presence that is never in absence, that cannot be created or destroyed, having a temporary human experience. We are God dreaming ourselves to be these human avatars to experience life in duality on this physical plane, so we can learn more about ourselves from different perspectives. And I really believe that to be true. I really believe that like God is not separate from us. We are God and we are just pretending to be human. And the more we honor and respect each other as divine God beings, the better we're all going to get along, because that's what we are. And a lot of times our negative emotions come from us just being disconnected with this source energy that we are. So that's what a lot of us are doing right now, is we are remembering who we are, uncovering who we are, releasing what is not us, so we can fully embrace our divinity. We are God pretending to be human. Number 7, the external world is a mirror, reflecting back to us that which we are. We don't get what we want, we get what we are. You get a direct vibrational match to the frequency that you're carrying. If you go out and see angry people in the world, that is a reflection of anger inside of you. If you go out and see beauty in the world, that is a reflection of the beauty that's within you. So embrace it all and know that whatever you're seeing is just reflecting back to you that which you are. If you get triggered by something, that's the universe's way of showing you that this is a pattern that needs to be healed within inside of you. And you might not, you might look at child trafficking or racism or bigotry or just some of the crazy, ignorant things that are happening on this planet and be really triggered by it and not think that that has anything to do with you. So you feel critical, you're blaming others, complaining about people outside of you, wishing everyone else outside of you would change. And there's no power in that. There's no power in that because all of this stuff is actually you. It's a reflection. The universe is a giant mirror, and that can feel painful sometimes, but it's actually quite beautiful when we realize, like, whoa, I had this magical visit from Ram Dass the night that he passed away. Before I was even like big into Ram Dass, I'd like just heard of him, and I didn't really know that much about his teachings. I had this like crazy lucid dream, and then I woke up from the dream, and Ram Dass was hovering above my bed, sitting in a lotus position, and that was the first thing he told me. He said, "We are all one. Everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is a mirror." And all of a sudden, he turned into like millions upon millions upon millions of versions of himself. As far as my eye could see, it was just this infinity of all these Ram Dasses sitting on a lotus position, smiling back at me as far as the eye could see in every direction. And he was showing me everyone is one, everything is a mirror, everything that you're experiencing in an external reality is just reflecting what's on the internal. So that's really profound when you start to notice and realize that everything is just a mirror. And then, if it's reflecting back something that you don't like, then it's showing you what you can heal and what you can work on. And if it's reflecting back something amazing and beautiful, that's something for you to cherish and appreciate and love. So that's just a profound lesson. Thank you, Ram Dass, for helping teach me that and helping me really understand that. Number 8, confidence comes from self-integrity. Confidence comes from keeping your word to yourself. When I do what I say I'm going to do, I feel so confident and so good about myself. If I was going to pick you up at 7 o'clock and 7:15 rolls around, I'm not there. 7:30 rolls around, I'm still not there. It's 8 o'clock, you're calling me, I'm not answering, I'm not there. And then you end up just going home, and then the next day you meet up with me and you're like, yo, what happened? I was waiting for you for like an hour. You never showed up. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, something came up, but I'll be there next time for sure, for sure. All right, man, for sure. Okay, next time I'll trust you. And then, next time, 7 o'clock, I'm not there. 7:30 rolls around, still not there. 8 o'clock, I'm still not there. You're like, damn it, Burnell said he was going to be here this time for sure. Like, I thought I could trust him. He said that, like, I had his word that he would be here. And you start to lose a little bit of trust in me. You're losing a little bit of confidence in me. So then the third time, I'm like, dude, for sure, my bad. The last 2 times, I know I said I was going to be there and I didn't. And I feel my bad, bro. But this time, for sure, I will be there, dude. I promise you. And then I'm not there again. And you wait 2 hours and you're stranded in the rain and you have to walk home and I'm not there. After that, you start to lose confidence. Then the 4th time, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to pick you up for sure at 7 o'clock. You already are questioning me. You're like, I don't know. You're already in your mind thinking about a backup ride because you're like, I don't know if I can trust. I don't really have confidence that Burnell's going to do what he said he was going to do. So how often do we do that to ourselves? We lose our confidence and our self-esteem by not honoring our word to ourselves. If I tell myself I'm not going to eat a bunch of sweets before bed anymore. Like, I'm done doing that. No more sweets before bed. And then the next night I do it again. And then I say, okay, this time for sure I'm not doing it. And then the next night I do it again. After a while, I just stop trusting myself. I don't feel confident. I don't feel like I have the ability to carry out a simple command to myself. And then, I start to like lose faith in myself, and I stop even wanting to try. So confidence comes from keeping your word to yourself. It's not about how pretty you are, how much money you have, or any external. It's about, can you do what you say what you're going to do? If you can follow your word to yourself and stay committed, you're going to feel really confident. Discipline is a huge act of self-love. Number 9, and I wrote these all down randomly, just in a quick brainstorm, so they're not in any particular order. Number 9, hurt people hurt people. If anyone hurt you in any type of way, it's because they were hurt themselves. Anyone that has inflicted trauma upon you was traumatized themselves. If you look at everyone as a hurt little child and see that they're living from these patterns where they were programmed and they were traumatized and they were hurt by the other world and their parents and their programming and all that, you start to have so much more compassion. When I started to realize that, like, My dad, even though he's hurt me a lot, it wasn't because he was an asshole. It was because he's hurting internally. And sometimes you take that out on others, or sometimes when you're just hurting, you're not in a place to be unconditionally loving because you're not unconditionally loving yourself. And so hurt people hurt people. If anyone does anything wrong to you or to anyone, it's not like to justify it or, say that it's okay or let them off the hook. It's just nice to know that everyone's hurting, everyone's got some pain, so let's be more compassionate and realize that if someone is doing something super messed up to someone else, it's because they are hurting internally, and instead of being blamed and punished and criticized, what they really need is they need a hug, they need a love, they need to find that radical self-love. So hurt people hurt people. Anytime someone does something wrong or whatever hurts you, you have a chance to be the bigger person, to rise up and come from a place of love and compassion, and just know, like, everyone has some type of trauma or suffering or pain that they're dealing with, and sometimes we don't know what they're going through, and it can just feel really painful. They can seem really toxic, and I think the most toxic people are the ones that are just hurting the deepest, and they need the most love. So hurt people hurt people. Number 10, emotions are teachers, and they are not permanent. Emotions are just energy in motion, here to help us grow, here to give us fuel, here to teach us lessons. Any type of negative emotion is just your soul telling your mind that you're out of alignment in some way. And it's just a chance to grow and a chance to level up. So emotions are not permanent. If you're feeling down, you're feeling sad, you're feeling anger, what can you learn from that emotion? How can you love and embrace and accept that emotion? And then you can transmute that emotion, turn it into fuel that, I had a lot of, like, quote unquote negative emotions last week. And now I first of all accepted and loved myself and loved those emotions and held space for those emotions and said, hey, it's okay for me to feel this way. It's okay for me to be sad or lonely or angry or whatever, as long as I don't let myself stay that way forever. These are just, this is temporary energy moving through me. And once I accepted them, I was able to transmute them and use them into fuel that's now helping me record this podcast and make songs and uplift more people and just grow. And everything's a teacher. So emotions are not permanent. They're not here to stay. They're just energy and motion flowing through you. You can transmute them into anything you want. And they can be our biggest teachers. So that's number 10. Number 11, you attract what you are. You don't attract what you want. I kind of already mentioned this. You attract what you are. The universe is a mirror reflecting back to you what you are. So if you want to attract abundance, you need to be on the abundance frequency. You need to be an abundant person, living, thinking, breathing, talking like an abundant person. You get what you are, not what you want. Number 12, I'm going to start going through some of these quicker because a lot of these things I've talked about before, so these might just be reminders for some of us. Number 12, I am where my attention is. Whatever I'm focusing on, that's where that's where I am. Whatever I place my conscious awareness on, that's where I am. So be mindful about where you place your attention in any given moment. If you're not feeling good, chances are your attention is on something that's disempowering you, and you have the power to shift your attention. I am where my attention is. 13, community/tribe is essential. We really need community. Like a newborn baby will die if it doesn't have physical touch and interaction, and you can get really lonely and sad and depressed and unhealthy if you're not getting that human connection. So we all owe it to ourselves and the whole collective to go actively seek out high vibrational community that uplifts us, that inspires us, and helps us embody the best versions of ourselves. I cannot express the importance of community enough. We're all in this together, so let's lift each other up and let's love each other. Number 14, healthy eating affects literally everything in my life. Like, I am what I eat, so the healthier I eat, organic, fresh, natural foods that are unprocessed, living foods, fresh foods that are grown with love, not things that are processed and shipped all across the world. And food really affects our vibration big time. Whatever you're putting into your body is the frequency that you will be carrying. So the more you eat high vibe, organic, healthy foods, you will start to embody a new higher frequency that will attract amazing things into your life. And one of the best acts of self-love is just to like really nourish your sacred body temple with that which is going to help it run optimally. So definitely recommend improving your diet no matter how healthy you're eating. We can always just eat a little bit healthier, fill ourselves up with more superfoods and nutrient dense foods, and less processed foods, less chemicals, less artificial anything. And what you put on your body also goes in your body too. So this includes makeup or skincare products or eye drops or anything like that. It's all going into your body and it's all affecting your frequency big time. So I am what I eat, and I'm choosing to eat things that are making me feel the best so I can thrive the best, because my daughter deserves it. I deserve it. The whole planet deserves me to be healthy and happy and thriving. And, I don't want to like make people in my life suffer just because I didn't take care of my health. So eating healthy is so key. The healthier I eat, the better I feel on mentally, spiritually, physically. It's not just about how you look or whatever. Like, that's trivial. It's about how you feel. I can run up a mountain. I'm so healthy now. I can have energy to play with my daughter. And, whenever I slip off at all and eat the wrong things, I feel it for sure. So conscious eating is very important. Number 15, language doesn't describe, it designs. Language does not describe our reality, it designs our reality. So be careful with your words. What are you speaking into existence? Abracadabra means as I speak, so I create. And words are wands. Words are very powerful, magical creators. They're not just like describing reality, they are designing reality. So that's why I speak and listen to affirmations every day. It's why I write down affirmations every day. That's why I catch myself if I say anything disempowering, and I immediately flip the script and try to speak my life into existence. I don't try to, I do. I speak my life into existence, and whatever I talk about is what I end up experiencing. So just be very mindful of language. Number 16, how I do one thing is how I do all things. How you brush your teeth or how you get dressed or how you treat your house. Like, all of these things reflect how you show up in every other area of your life. So you can improve all areas of your life just by improving things that seem insignificant or mundane or not important. How are you showing up? And how are you standing? How are you breathing? How are you talking? And everything that you do. How we do one thing is how we do all things. So just bringing more mindfulness into every aspect of our life. And if we're taking shortcuts in one area, chances are we're taking shortcuts and cutting ourselves short in other areas. Number 17, challenges are actually gifts. I talk about this a lot. Anything you're going through that feels challenging and hard is actually happening for you. It's not happening to you. Here to help you grow. It's all a blessing in disguise. So embrace it and receive it as a gift. It's not the universe punishing you. It's not life just raining down on your parade and making things hard for you. It's actually here to help you grow. And especially if you're trying to up level and you're calling in a higher level of being, anything that's not in resonance with that might come up to the surface, and it might feel challenging, and that's the biggest gift the universe could actually give you. Sometimes not getting your way is a huge gift. Like me not going to Cali, like I'm grateful. I'm sure I would have had an amazing time, but I feel like I just up-leveled even more by not getting what my ego wanted. So challenges are actually gifts, actually blessings in disguise. Embrace them. Number 18, I must give myself what I crave externally. So I have to love myself in the ways that I wish other people loved me. I have to reparent my inner child. I have to reprogram myself. I have to give myself, because nobody else is responsible for my emotions. Nobody else, and no external person or circumstance is responsible or even capable of changing my emotions. It's on me. I'm responsible for how I feel. So I have to give myself the love that I've been craving, and the more I give myself the love that I always wanted, and treat myself and parent myself in the ways that I wish my parents would have done, the less I crave external validation and the less I need anything from anyone else, because, I am the source of my own love. Infinite source, spirit energy is my source of love, and that's what I am. And when I'm connected to that frequency, I can just fill myself up to where I'm overflowing, and then I can go give. I'm not needy. I don't need anything from anyone. I'm just filling myself up. So, and I'm happily receiving all sorts of gifts and love from the external world as well, but I'm not letting those like sway me up or down. It's just, I got to give myself what I crave externally. Number 19, everything is sacred and nothing is sacred. And that might sound like a catch-22 or a contradiction or whatever. But I really believe that like everything in the universe is sacred and nothing is sacred at the same time. And certain things you might place more attention or intention on and they can feel more sacred, but really who's to say that a tree is sacred, but my DVD player is not. And this book that I have over here, Autobiography of Gandhi, that's a sacred book, but this Star Wars DVD that I have over here is not sacred. Interesting to just look at random things and try and humans put their labels and judgments on everything. So everything's sacred and nothing is sacred. Number 20, follow your bliss. Let your joy be your GPS. When you do what lights you up and you follow your bliss, it leads to magic, synchronicity, synchrodestiny, all sorts of just amazing miracles and blessings can happen when you follow your bliss and do what lights you up. And that's a big part of why we're here. I think part of the reason we're here pretending to be humans is to enjoy the physical reality on the 3D plane and beyond. So do what lights you up. Follow your bliss. When you're in your highest joy, you're going to be magnetic to all sorts of opportunities and experiences, and people want to work with you and be around with you, and you'll just attract more blessings the more that you're following that frequency of your bliss. So let joy be your GPS. What really lights you up? What do you really want to do? What feels fun to you? Do that thing, and it might lead to just the next breakthrough that you weren't expecting. So follow your bliss. Number 21, life and death is an illusion. If we're all just pure energy and energy can't be created or destroyed, then life and death is merely an illusion and we don't actually ever get born or ever die. We are just these infinite, eternal, energetic beings. So that's a deeper concept that I think is a little bit strange to grasp for some people. And I think, working with various plant medicines and going deep within during meditation has really just showed me that, and all these spiritual experiences I've had with people that have transitioned beyond their physical bodies, I'm still communicating with them and I can still see them and they're still existing in my dreams and my visions. And it's hard to wrap our heads around this, but really life and death is an illusion. Nothing ever dies and nothing's ever created or destroyed. It always has been and always will be. So that can be comforting to even just think about, of even as we transition past these physical bodies, our essence will still always exist, and that's kind of cool. Number 22, we are all one sacred family. We really are all one, and we just need to love each other and be there for each other more. We need to get rid of the illusion of separation, and I think that's what collectively we're starting to work on a lot, is just realizing our oneness, honoring our divinity as one giant cosmic sacred family. It's so beautiful. Grandmother Ayahuasca really showed me that in a profound way. It just brought me back to us all existing before we came to this physical earth, and us just all being family and loving each other and being there for each other, and just we've known each other forever. So it's it's pretty cool. I love you guys. Thanks for being my fam. Let's see what the next one is. My notes were kind of messy. Okay, so this next one says, your vibe attracts your tribe. This is number 23. You become like who you hang around. You've heard those quotes like, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, or show me your friends and I'll show you your future. All of these things are cliche and very true for a reason. Your vibe really does attract your tribe, and your tribe attracts your vibe. It's all synergistic. So who you hang around really matters. Whoever you're following online, whoever you're surrounding yourself with, whatever videos you're watching, all this stuff is affecting your frequency, and you're going to become like the people that you surround yourself with. You're going to become like the podcasters that you listen to. You're going to become like the YouTubers that you watch. You're going to become like your family and your friends and whoever you're spending the most energy on and whoever you're following on Instagram and whatever. So just be mindful. Are these people embodying the habits and frequencies that you wish to live on? Are they really resonating at the same frequency that you're trying? Like, I try to surround myself with people that are more successful than me, happier than me, healthier than me, and people that I can really learn from, people that I can serve and give to as well. But I really like to surround myself with people that bring out the best in me. I feel comfortable around them. I feel like I can, like, sometimes I feel comfortable around them because they love and accept me no matter what. And also I can feel uncomfortable around them because they're so badass that it just makes me want to level up. So just be mindful about your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe, so whatever frequency you're resonating on is who you're going to attract into your life, and then whoever you're spending time with is going to you're going to keep creating more of that energy. So if you're, around a bunch of people that are drinking and smoking and eating terrible food and they're not working out and they're not meditating, all this stuff, like that's going to affect your life. That's going to affect your habits. So you need to cultivate high vibe friends and relationships. It's something that you can easily attract. You might need to go out of your way to meet these people and cultivate these relationships, but it's easily doable. No matter where you live, there's people that are lighthearted and like-minded and just good people that can help lift you up all around. So be conscious and mindful of that. Number 24, my lucky number. What I consume has an impact on the environment and on other people, and I am responsible for that impact. If I purchase a cup of coffee, someone had to grow that coffee, so that affects the farmers. The land that it was grown on gets affected. If they had to ship it across the world in trucks and airplanes, where did they get the fuel and the materials to build those things to ship it to me? And how is that affecting the environment? If any piece of earth or any being is harmed in the process of which your goods get to you, you are ultimately responsible. So I'm working on becoming a more conscious consumer. I want every single thing I consume, and this is, not going to happen overnight, but taking the steps to be mindful about which companies I support, where we vote with our dollar. So whatever I'm putting my money towards is what I'm putting into power. It's not about who's president or not. Like, that controls the world very little compared to the companies and the big corporations that we give our money to. Coca-Cola and Big Pharma and all these things that we're shelling out all our money to, that they're enslaving us, that they're raping the earth, they are doing just horrendous things to our whole existence, and we're the ones empowering that. It's not their fault, it's us. We're giving them the money. We're giving them that power. We're buying their products and services because a lot of us are choosing to stay ignorant. And yes, I say choosing because ignorance is often a choice. And I know some people are born into really oppressed and suppressed situations. And, unfortunately, some people just aren't in a position where they can even get the education they need to, so they don't even know any better. And big corporations like McDonald's, they spend a lot of time marketing to underprivileged people and to people that are already maybe unhealthy and already live in poverty or whatever like that. And it's really sad. And a lot of this stuff is like systemic racism and systemic oppression and suppression. And it's very, very sad. And we have a lot of growing to do. So any one of us, if you are privileged enough to have like a device that you can listen to this podcast on, then you're also privileged enough to be mindful and conscious about which companies you give your money to, which things you support. And, it's not about being perfect. It's not about blaming or criticizing or judging in any way. We're waking the love up through compassion and, education. And once you know better, then you can choose better. You can't really choose better if you don't know any better. Like when I was little, I didn't know certain things were even bad for me. I didn't know necessarily that like McDonald's was bad for me, so I just ate it and um, whatever. I didn't know like certain companies were doing all these horrific things. Like I didn't know if I buy like a Hershey's chocolate bar, I didn't know how much that was hurting the environment and hurting the people that grow that stuff. Versus when now I buy fair trade organic and I pay a premium and it helps the farmers and they plant trees and they give back to the communities and all these good things can come from my purchase. Instead of like me being a part of the problem, I can start being a part of the solution just by being more mindful and conscious about what I consume. So again, it's not about the blame game or self-righteousness or putting anyone down. It's just like let's all compassionately come together and start working on making more conscious choices. Let's start reducing our waste. Let's start cultivating more sustainable ways so all of us can enjoy this magical, abundant earth and our future generations can enjoy it as well. Number 25, everything is programming us. Literally everything that you listen to and watch, this podcast is programming you right now. Hopefully it's programming you in an empowering way. That's my intention. Everything, when you drive down the street, billboards, they're programming you. Signs and advertisements from companies are programming you. That's why I do not watch TV or the radio. I don't listen to the radio whatsoever because I don't want these random commercials programming me. And they're making me scared about getting in a car crash by talking about insurance and, all the just random little things that they're always trying to just make us fearful, make us disconnected, so then they can sell stuff to us and we can be easily manipulated and easily controlled. And we just need to be more mindful about like literally we're programming ourselves every time we're thinking, every time we're talking, every time we're acting. All of our behavior is writing a code, writing a program that is going to continue to carry itself out until we deprogram and reprogram or, fix the bugs within that program. So just be mindful about everything we consume, like our diet is not just what food we put in our body. It's also what our eyes are consuming on screens and what our ears are hearing through audio waves. This is all programming us. Our friends, our family, our culture, everything is programming us. So we need to be more mindful and go into a space of awareness, because from a space of awareness and consciousness, then we become the programmer and we can change the program. If it's just the program trying to change the program, matter trying to change matter, it takes a long time. If we can go within and touch that infinite field, the quantum field of infinite possibilities, we can become the observer, we can become the programmer, and we can write new codes, fix the bugs, and release what no longer serves us, and just be more empowered in general. Number 26, go the extra mile, always do your best. It's a principle. I could have put the whole 4 agreements in there. He's always do your best. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. It's all really powerful, but I chose to use this one. Just always do your best. Go the extra mile. Over deliver. Anytime you have a chance to just like be in your higher self and like take the higher road instead of the lazy, easy road, it always feels really good. Anytime you just do your best, and when you delay gratification instead of going for that instant pleasure, when you just choose the higher self option in every scenario, and you will be vastly rewarded in a multitude of ways. So always do your best, always go the extra mile, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Go the extra mile for your clients, your customers, your fans, whatever. Go above and beyond what anyone expects of you, and you'll just start to be vastly rewarded. Number 27, living with intention. Intention is so powerful. The more mindful and intentional we are about everything we do in life, the better our life becomes. The more we set intentions, the better our life is. So set intentions before you sleep. How are you going to sleep tonight? Set intentions before you go to bed, how the next day is going to be. Set intentions before you eat a meal that this meal is going to nourish you and taste delicious and fill you up with all the nutrients you need. Set intentions for how you're going to show up in the world, and things will just start going your way so much more often. So highly recommend reading The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. If you haven't checked that out, it's a classic. Just the more intentional I am with everything, just life gets amazing. So that's really key. Number 28, the heart knows best. The heart is intelligent. The heart actually sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. The heart is the strongest, electromagnetic energy center in our body, and a lot of our deep soul wisdom is stored in our heart. So listen to your heart. Listen with your heart. You will understand. Shout out Pocahontas' grandmother Willow. I know Disney's probably on some toxic, crazy shit, but also there's some magic involved in there too. Regardless of anything to do with that and all the conspiracy theories, I love that song, Listen with Your Heart, because it's so true. When you listen with your heart will tell you what you really want. It'll guide you in the right direction, and it just holds this vast intelligence, and you can just increase the electromagnetic energy field around your body just by putting awareness on your heart. Try it right now. Put your hands on your heart if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, and just take a deep breath into your heart and sit with that presence and feel your energy of your heart. And it might take a few minutes, and if you sit there and do this for 10 minutes, your heart energy starts to expand, and then you can tap into this infinite intelligence that lies within there, and it can guide you to your next big breakthrough, your next big business idea, your next big creative power move, or whatever. So listen to your heart. The heart knows best. Number 29, anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. We are living in a world of infinite possibilities, infinite potential. So let's dream big. Let's think big. Let's live a big, meaningful, fulfilling life, and know that anything is possible for us. So many of us create reality based on what's happened in the past. We think the only thing that's possible in the future is based on evidence of what's happened in the past. And I'm here to say that anything is possible. Literally, you can be, do, and have anything your heart desires. Anything is possible. Number 30, this is a big one. I know nothing. I know I just told you 29 other things that I know, and I'm also saying that I know nothing, because everything is right and everything is wrong. And one of the only things that I deeply, truly know is that I don't really know anything. And I don't even know if that's true. If you catch my drift here, I have strong inclinations. I have strong evidence to support certain things. But really deep down in the essence of my spirit, I don't really know anything. It's a great mystery. And that's beautiful. It's awesome. And it's really freeing and humbling to just admit that I don't really know anything. I think there's a lot of things that seem pretty on point, but, deep down, I don't really fully know the absolute truth of anything. And there's relative truth, and then there's absolute truth, and sometimes it can be difficult to really know. So it's fun to just embrace the mystery. It's all a great magical mystery. So that's number 30. I know nothing. And I have a bonus for you. Number 31. I talk about this all the time. I have this word tattooed on my body. Gratitude. Gratitude can change everything. When we shift our frequency back onto what we're grateful for, rather than what we don't have or what we're scared of, everything gets better. So fill yourself up with gratitude by consciously putting awareness on things that are going well, things that you're grateful for, things that you appreciate. And, this is why I practice gratitude journal every day. It's my favorite part of the day, sitting down with my journal, writing all the things that I'm most grateful for, and not just intellectually feeling or thinking gratitude, but deeply, emotionally feeling the energy of gratefulness, of appreciation. Like when you really embody that frequency, you open yourself up to all the magic of the universe. I was feeling really ungrateful for a few days, and I was suffering because I was looking at all my stuff with the glass half empty type of vibe, where I was just only focusing on what I didn't yet have that I wanted. Like all I want to do is just be off grid, living in nature, and yet I'm here living in the city. And I want nicer stuff, and I want new things and new experiences, and they're not presently here, so I was just super ungrateful, kind of taking things for granted, not focusing on what I do have, but instead focusing on what hasn't manifested yet. And I just created all this pain and suffering and just all these uncomfortable emotions because I wasn't in a deep sense of gratitude. And I went out to the mountains and did that shadow work, came back, cleaned my house, decluttered, I put most of my decorations back. I just moved them around into some slightly different spots. And I got rid of a few things that weren't like the highest joy, but I kept a lot of things. And I feel so grateful. The last few days, my house has felt really good. The energy is restored in here. And I was thinking, I need to move. I'm just like, I don't have any inspiration at this new spot. I need to find a place with a yard. I need to be out in nature. I need to get off grid. And almost like I'm not going to be happy until all these external things change. But if we put our happiness like that, then we never get it, because happiness has to come from within. Once we become more grateful and more abundant, then we'll have all those external things, not the other way around. I was thinking, oh, if I get this nicer house and my own land and all this stuff, then I'll be super grateful. And I had it backwards. Once I'm super grateful for what I already have, then I'll get the nicer house and the nicer clothes and all these, whatever things that my ego thinks it wants. So gratitude is the great multiplier. Whatever we're grateful for expands in our life. And there's always just so many blessings to be appreciated. The fact that we can see, the fact that you can listen to this, the fact that we can taste yummy, delicious food, the fact that the sun is shining, the fact that it rains sometimes. Like, there's just so many things to really appreciate and be grateful for. And when we are in that state, we just attract miracles and blessings and magic around every corner. So I highly, highly recommend cultivating a powerful gratitude practice. And just in general, setting the intention to be more grateful. A lot of times I set the intention when I'm getting out of the shower. I'm like, all right, when I get out of the shower, I'm just going to feel so grateful for the rest of the day. I'm going to be in a deep sense of appreciation. And those days are the best, when I really am just looking around like, oh my God, I'm so stoked that I have this microphone to record on. And I'm so stoked that I have my plant homies making the vibes on point in my house. And so grateful for my homies and grateful for the rivers. And I just get this euphoria of bliss and blessings because I'm so grateful. So there you have it. 30 things, 31 things that I learned by age 30. It's a new decade. I'm feeling more inspired, healthier, happier, more fulfilled, more excited than ever before. I know I'm about to just level up, and I am leveling up in so many ways, unleashing my greatness, embodying my divinity, releasing what no longer serves me, and uncovering the truth of my essence. What I am is just pure love, pure loving awareness, pure consciousness. I am not my body. I'm not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. I am not my job title. I am not any of these ego things. I am just pure loving awareness with infinite potential. And I feel like this is going to be the most powerful decade of my life so far. My 20s were a mix between just like pure magic and so much fun, mixed with just like deep lessons and hardships and lots of pain. So I'm just really grateful. It was an awesome decade. And the thing that I'm most grateful for is just this journey that I've been on. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And really, it's not even about the journey, it's more about the company, more about the people that you meet along the journey. And I've met some extraordinary beings. Many of you are listening. Many of you are supporting me on Patreon. Many of you are sharing these episodes out. And many of you are coming to my weekly meditation classes every Monday in Salt Lake. And it's been a beautiful journey so far. And I'm very, very grateful for it. It's been fun. It's been challenging. It's been all of the things. And I love that I get to feel all these ranges of emotions and stuff. And I'm just grateful and honored that I'm able to share messages on here. And hopefully some of what I said will uplift, inspire, and help you grow and help you unleash the best version of yourself, because you deserve to thrive. You are a magical, awesome being that is capable of anything. And hopefully some things that I shared today on this episode resonated deeply with you. And if they did, I would highly appreciate if you shared this episode, screenshot it, put it on your stories, tag me at burnellwashburn on Instagram. I'll share it out, and we'll keep waking the love up, keep growing the tribe. we've been getting a lot of new listeners lately, and a lot. The Soul Tribe is just expanding rapidly. So really excited about everything. Here's to a new decade and a new life. Each moment is a new incarnation. I hope you go have an amazing, magical rest of your day. I'm sending you all the love, all the good vibes from the center of my heart. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are powerful. Thank you. I see you. I love you. Wake the love up.
If you got value from today's episode, make sure to share it with at least one person and hit up Burnell on Instagram saying, yo, I listened to this episode and it was dope. Love you.